Welcome back to another episode of Expertly Unqualified.
Welcome back, everyone.
We're super excited to have you here, and we got a fun episode for you. Hopefully, it'll probably be like a quicker episode, but that'll be good. Something you can listen to, learn a lot from, and move on. Something super easy to share, and you can share this on Instagram, YouTube. You can like, comment, subscribe. Spotify, we're on there too. Just a little shout out that if you're not following us or you're not subscribed, I highly recommend because we drop episodes every Sunday and they're very expertly unqualified, so you don't want to miss out. But without further ado, let us dive into our WHAT news of the week, our favorite news segment where you learn all the things. So, Holly, do you want to start us off with what's a weekly stat you didn't need to know, but now you know?
Oh boy, weekly stats. Probably times I've eaten out this week, 3, which might not sound like that much, but I usually don't eat out.
Honestly, eating out sounds so good right now because I'm tired of cooking. So where did you eat? Because I'm curious.
I went to Lazy Dog for lunch, which they have pretty good deals. I thought Lazy Dog would be more expensive,
Yeah,
but they have a $15 deal any time of the day where you get like a full-size meal with a side and a dessert
that's
for
not bad.
$15.
I've never been there, so I'll have to put that on my list to go there, but that
It was
sounds
pretty good.
good.
I also yesterday I tried, this might sound hilarious, Little Caesars for the first time. It was actually really good.
I was gonna say, were you disappointed?
No. Okay, but I'll say though, for like how cheap it is, I can't complain. Is it
Oh,
perfect?
yeah.
No.
No, no. But for something quick, is it still $5 for a box of pizza?
They have some $5 pizzas, but not all are $5.
Yeah, that used to be a thing way back when.
Now they have like a 4.99
The little, like,
half.
the Detroit style, like the 4 pieces.
It's like half pizza, half cheesy bread for $5.
Honestly, that all sounds so good. I made the bad decision of just snacking all day, so I'm quite hungry at the moment. While I did plan out what I'm eating, it requires me to cook, so I need to
Oof.
regain
No.
some energy to cook.
But
Adulting's
no, I
hard.
totally understand. Do you have any weekly sets for the week?
I do. Okay, so I was crazy enough to sign up for another half marathon in April. I ran one last April. And while I was running it, like the first half mile, I was like, oh my gosh, I should do this again. Yeah, I don't know what I set myself up for. Anywho, it'll probably be a weekly stat or somehow thrown into it every week. But I finally started training for that. And the biggest thing with training is not like, oh, you have to run a certain speed or I have to run a mile in 8 minutes. It's no, if you don't practice now, you're gonna die on race day. So I prefer not to do that. But then if you're not from the Midwest, like if you lived in the South, you'd be good. You'd be golden. You could run outside every single day. Midwest right now, it's like the hardest time to train because it's freezing cold outside. So you have to run on a treadmill, which is it's fine, but when you have to run like more than an hour on a treadmill, you're kind of over it. But anywho, I've been a little wild and crazy going beyond just signing up for a half marathon. But I've been training outside. So I ran outside twice this week during my lunch. I think one day it wasn't bad. It was sunny and we hit 30.
Oh, yes, 30 degrees.
So warm, so warm. And then I ran yesterday outside and I think it was like 24, but the weather app was telling me it was going to be like 32. And then it was windy and then it started like snowing a little bit while I was running. So I ran very fast, I can tell you that much. But yeah, my weekly stat that you didn't need to know, but now you know, is I ran outside twice this week. Don't know if I'll be doing it again, but who knows?
It's impressive because it's so funny because, like, in the Midwest, like, it's that time of the year where it's finally, like, degrees, warm, it feels warm,
We're built
but
different.
it's just, like, there's just so many, like, unexpected, like, problems with running outside, like, not just the cold, but it's, like, it's also icy, you have to run around the ice, and then it gets muddy, you wouldn't think, cold and muddy,
Yes, that is
but you
true.
also have to, like, stay away from.
I did run through some snow. Some people weren't following protocol and they did not clear off their sidewalks. So I need to report them to the HOA promptly. Um, the other thing is too is I'm like trying to cram it during my lunch hour because that's when it's like the warmest part of the day, you know? And so I could just imagine, you know, how many times have you been going somewhere, walking somewhere, and you see someone running and you'd be like, gosh, who do they think they are? Like running at this hour or at this temperature, like, psh. And then I was thinking about, I'm like, that's me now. I wonder what all these people are thinking. All these random people that see me. I'm like, you know what? Mind your business. No one said
And, like
anything, but in my head, I have to make up a whole story in order to keep running.
you also just have to keep in perspective too, like, I see multiple people regularly running all year in the winter with, like, not enough clothes on. So those are the ones where I'm like, "What is wrong with you?" Like,
It's such a weird
not respectfully,
experience,
like, not like
respectfully.
it's more so just like, how are you comfortable doing this? Like,
I don't
pretty
feel
recent
sorry, go ahead.
pretty recently, I saw someone running shirtless.
Sure.
Oh,
No, I'm not. I got layers.
I know. So it's like stuff like that where it's like, there's really so many people here that are just like, "Okay, hold that once."
Yeah, it usually does, but when you have a half marathon looming over your head, you're like, "Okay, it won't stop me today." I was gonna say, it's such a weird thing because, like, when it's really that cold out, I have gloves. But once you start running and you're going probably for, like, 15 minutes, you get so warm. My legs were freezing the last time I was out there, which is a weird thing because usually my upper body and arms are freezing, but it was my legs that were cold. My upper body was so toasty, it was almost like it was summertime up top. Um, the other thing is asking for a friend. Is it bad when I run that I'm in zone 5 the entire time?
I'm uneducated because I need to look up what zone 5 is.
Maybe we need to come back. My heart rate is very high when I run but,
Okay, okay, so now I know what it is. Okay, so I really legitimately believe that it's not bad, but you need to okay, so, like, I am crunchy in that I've always thought that, like, exercise is, like, focusing on your heart rate rather than your speed.
fair.
Because also I never really did competitive sports, so I have a very different, like, opinion than a lot of people. But, like, I think that that's not necessarily bad because you just wanna, like, focus on, like, cardiovascular health
Yeah,
and your overall health.
yeah. I at least was singing along. Yeah. I'll have to post this too. I was texting my brother and I said, "I need to hype myself up to go run during my lunch hour," and he goes, "Maybe play Eye of the Tiger a bit too loud?" I said, "Yeah, I do need that. I do need that." Mm, but that brings us to our headlines of the week. Do you have any big headlines this week?
You can go first if you have any.
I have some of the most random headlines. What was like I'll put that with my I'll put one of them with my adulting, but the headlines is I found this breakfast that is actually absolutely delicious. So I saw it on Instagram. So sometimes scrolling late at night does help because you find something interesting and worthwhile. I am not the type of person who eats non-fat plain Greek yogurt just plain and be like, it's delicious. I've never met a person who can just eat the plain yogurt and they're like, yes, so good. But I do like Faye's, like that brand of Greek yogurt. It's just like a really good consistency. And I also like how, I don't know if you've realized this, but if you go, like even at Aldi, they have their own Greek yogurt.
Yeah.
And you're thinking Greek yogurt, it's healthy if it's like blueberry Greek yogurt, 0% fat, whatever. It has like 13 grams of added sugar in one little container, which you wouldn't expect it unless you read the nutrition label. So that's the other thing about why I like the non-fat plain Greek yogurt, Faye specifically, is because it doesn't have all the added stuff. What I've come to find out in the beginning was I was probably adding way more honey than 13 grams of added sugar, so it probably balanced itself out. But I found a recipe that makes it taste good. You go get frozen fruit. I have berries. Aldi has a bunch of different mixes of berries that are really good. and you put some in a bowl. I eyeball everything at this point. I do who needs measurements. So the one I had like blueberry, raspberry, blackberry. You throw it in a bowl, you microwave it for about a minute. You take a fork and you mash it up so it gets all juicy, you know? Then you add a tablespoon of chia seeds, stir it up, and set it in the fridge. I usually do this when I make my coffee in the morning because I usually drink my coffee first and then come back down for breakfast later on. So you could probably let it sit for like 5 minutes, but that mine probably ends up being, I don't know, half an hour. And then you put the yogurt on top of it, the plain non-fat Greek yogurt, and I add a little bit of honey and some cinnamon. And then if you're feeling fancy, which I feel fancy most days, so I add granola. And if you add enough cinnamon and the berries are just right, it tastes like a berry cobbler. It's so good.
And I was literally thinking that before you said that brand because I'm always scared to say it because I never know how to say it right.
Yeah,
Yeah, but,
Faye, or
that
however you pronounce it.
Fi Faye
Yay.
Phage. I just know Phage is wrong.
It's Fage.
But it is really good Greek yogurt. It's some of my favorite. It's, like, one of the only ones I like just plain.
Yeah, they
Same
also have
with the
the good ones where they have, like it's that brand, and then they have a little, like, corner that you can dip or, um, whatever it is. It's like
oh, yeah.
it's got a section of, like, strawberries or blueberries or peaches, and you can just dump them in. That one's really good. It's almost dessert.
I also think that Noosa yogurt is really good.
Oh, yeah.
It does have a lot of sugar, but you know what? It's okay.
Yeah,
You
sometimes
know
it's
what?
fine. It's all what you prefer. I was just sharing what I know, but that was my headline of the week. Did you have a headline of the week?
My headline for the week is I actually used a coupon from CVS for the first time because I got one thing. The receipt was, naturally like 4 feet long. I'm not joking. It was ridiculous. Um, and I actually used the coupons. I've never used the coupons at CVS for anything at all. And I got $8 off any purchase. I bought $8 worth.
There you go. That's what you gotta use it for, because candy is so expensive for no reason.
So, I mean, like, it's not like the biggest deal, but like, definitely, I thought it was a big deal. I actually used one of those stupid coupons.
Yeah, I think that's a right step, and it's a step in the right direction. 2026, we're using coupons. CVS
Um,
coupons specifically.
I also got a lot of other silly coupons recently from receipts. I know I got one from Dual Osco saying $10 off groceries every time you donate blood.
Wow. I would
I
need
thought
like
about that.
$100.
I was just thinking, I'm like, that's not really a lot. Okay, I think that you should just donate blood out of the goodness of your heart, but that's also not really a lot of money
No, it's not.
to donate.
Oh my gosh.
I think that might be less than minimum wage here.
Yeah, that's true. That's
But
true.
that coupon, I'm not gonna be following through. No.
I'm glad you're drawing the line.
All right, but
That brings us to our adulting of the week. I have an update that I have that the IKEA furniture is all done. It's like 80% done, so that's good. I got like the other big dresser, the outside of it done. I just have to do all the drawers. But yeah, watching a video makes it 1,000 times better. And then the other thing I was gonna say for my adulting, and I know this probably sounds so stupid, but have you ever made one of those like bagged salads and you mix it in a bowl and you think it's gonna fit in that specific bowl you get, and then you start mixing it, and then like 18 pieces of lettuce
yeah,
end up on your countertop, and you're like,
yeah.
oh my god, I just wanted to try and eat healthy. I've made the executive decision that I'm just gonna use the biggest bowl ever. I don't care if it's 4 sizes too big. I'm using the big bowl because I'm tired of cleaning up my counter of little shreds of carrot and lettuce when all I want to do is friggin' mix the salad and let me eat it in peace. So I used the big bowl this week and I didn't spill anymore. So that's
I
my adulting.
started doing that recently because I got tired of picking up the little pieces off the counter and floor. But I've also tried in the past to mix it in the bag with the dressing. But the only problem is that it only works with some brands. Some brands, the bag is too small.
Yep.
So I do the same thing where I spill it everywhere because the bag's too small and I thought I could mix it in the bag.
Or sometimes I find if you do mix it in the bag, then all the extra dressing just sticks to the bag and you're like, I need the extra dressing. So yeah, just rule of 2026. Use the bigger bowl.
You deserve it.
You deserve it. It'll be fine. Just use the bigger bowl. I feel like it's almost like a not a sixth sense, but when you can magically guess what size Tupperware you need based off what your leftovers are gonna be, like that's a special skill that I have sometimes. But when it comes to salad and trying to guess what size bowl, no, I've struck out and I'm just gonna use the biggest bowl I have. Yeah. What did you do to adult this week?
So, you know what? This might not sound like a lot, but I went to work every day and I turned in all my homework, even though I didn't want to.
That sounds like a great week.
And you know what? I feel like I deserve just a little bit of credit for that, you know?
Yeah, you adulted
No?
hard this week.
What about you?
That was my bowl thing was my adulting.
Sorry, sorry, sorry.
No, you're good, you're good. And later on the episode, we'll talk about things that you have to do, but you might not want to do and how to do them. So that's a great start for today's episode. And I didn't even mean to, but we're just gonna keep reading my sweatshirt and just do it. That's the theme of this episode. Not all of it, but okay, trending topics. Did you have any? Because I do have a couple.
Yes, I have one. So
Okay,
I think it's hilarious that Nickelback is having a comeback right now. So
they are.
they are. And there's like a couple different like ways it's coming back, mostly from social media. So there's this new music style that's really popular called divorced dad rock. I'm gonna be
I've
completely
never
honest.
heard of that, but that's so
I'm gonna be
funny.
completely honest. It's actually pretty good. Some of it's like stuff I would actually listen to. I'm not sure if it actually has anything to do with divorced dads. And the other thing is that it's almost like for someone who's like almost 30, like, are you serious? Like, you think this is old people music? Because a lot of it is just like early 2000s rock, like
Oh my gosh.
early 2000s radio music. But I guess that's what the kids these days, kids at school who are having divorced parents, that's what their parents are listening to. But you know what? There's
They
actually
just
some good
needed a
things.
title for somebody to click on to listen to their album. Because who wouldn't be intrigued? Divorced dad rock? You're like,
And the other way it got popular again, I'm not even gonna try to sing the lyrics right because I don't care and I know I'm gonna get it wrong. But one of their songs says 6-7 in it. It's a song. It goes 6-7 on a doo doo. This is how you remind me
oh
who I
gosh.
really am. But anyway, I've listened to 3 of their songs. I
It's
can
not
confidently
like you.
say
Say sorry.
I still don't think I love them, but that song is stuck in my head.
Oh my gosh. How about the one song where they're talking about like a mansion, like come to my crib,
Yeah.
a baseball. I don't know. If you've listened to Nickelback, you know what song I'm talking about. I didn't know they were making a comeback, but I guess good for them. Because there was always that joke, what's worse than listening to Nickelback forwards? No, what's worse listening to Nickelback backwards? Listening to Nickelback forwards.
And there's another one saying, what what'd this guy say after he bought a Nickelback album?
I
I
want my
want my
Nickelback.
nickel back.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so that's exciting trending news. If you like Nickelback, PSA, they're coming back. But if you liked them, they probably never went out of style to use. Who knows? I have 3 trending topics. Big stuff, big time stuff. My family group chat was blowing up way too early in the morning about this. Do you know like the Minute Maid orange juice concentrate that
Saw
you could
that.
that you could get at the store? For those of you who don't know, you can get frozen concentrate of juices, sometimes like lemonade, orange juice. Minute Maid had an orange juice one. My family would make this when I was younger, and it's just like a cylinder, like almost the size of a Coke can, and it's just frozen orange juice. So you take it out of there, put it in a pitcher, I think you'd microwave it for like a minute and then you just add water to dilute it and stuff. So Minute Maid is not producing any more of those orange juice concentrates. And I think I saw it was like they've been doing it for 80 years or something. So I don't know what's stopping them. I didn't care to continue reading the article, but I just thought I would share the headline. Probably because people, I don't know. It's probably way cheaper than any other orange juice, but who knows? Times are changing. Additionally, some important news is McDonald's is offering a McNugget caviar kit where you can put I don't know the full details because as
I
you can
didn't know that
tell
was real.
as a news anchor I listen to half the stuff and read half the items. So you're getting half news. Yeah, so I guess you can get a kit where you get McNuggets and then you can add caviar on top. And I guess something like Rihanna did this one time. But I can barely trust a McNugget. How am I supposed to trust McDonald's caviar? Is it really even caviar? Can somebody let me know? Because
To
I
be
want to
honest,
know.
I think I am scared of caviar in the first place, so I'm
Me
not
too.
gonna try. But I thought that was just a trick. So
And
I'm
also,
interested. I'm interested to hear if that's real. Please let us know.
I keep seeing it everywhere, so I think it is real, which is crazy. But then also, like, what's the quality? And how expensive is it? A burger's already very expensive now, you know? And that brings me to my last, well, I guess this isn't exactly a trending topic, but just a random topic that I thought we could discuss in our new segment. I don't know if you've seen these videos, and maybe they're just on my feed because I've been running. There are these people who are like, I've created the most perfect workout to this album. So they'll pick a specific album and run to it. And like based off what song it is, they'll, I don't know, run faster, walk, you know. Have you seen any of these videos? Okay. So when I got back into running this past week, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to switch things up. I'm going to run to an album. And you know what? You know what a good album is? Fearless by Taylor Swift because I know all the songs, I can sing to them. It'll be fun. It is the worst thing ever to run to an album because maybe I just chose the wrong album, but you're like, okay, first song, you're like singing along, you're like, this is great, wonderful. And then the second song comes along, you're like, okay, Taylor Swift again. Then the third song comes along and it's a bop, and you're like, yes, I can do this. This is great. And then the fourth song comes on, you're like, I'm over this. So I don't recommend it. If you ever see it and somebody's happy while running to a specific album, they're fake being happy. I'm kidding. If you've done it before, let me know. And what album are you running to? Because Taylor Swift Fearless was actually not the choice. I was tempted to do High School Musical, so I may have to do that and report back. But some of the songs are so slow. So how am I supposed to try and get through my run listening to a slow song? I don't
That's
know.
how I feel. I think like it's only doable if you're just normally like a giant fan of the artist because like way too many of the songs are like so slow and like even if you love a song, it can just feel unbearable to run to, especially if it's sad or slow.
Hmm. Or some people will make albums of like sad rainy day run. I'm like, no, I need somebody screaming in my ear. Like when I was trying to finish, because I had to run 3 miles the other day, I'm looping through the neighborhood. I'm like, all right, where's 3 miles at? And I wanted to quit so bad. I turned on some Brain Stew by Green Day, and I'm running and I'm doing the drum solo in the air.
Oh yeah.
Dun,
Dun 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 dun.
if you don't know the song, look it up. It will hype you up. So like you need a drum solo in there. It can't just be slow.
That's one of my fiance's favorite songs. He likes playing that on the guitar.
He should definitely play that. That is
Mhm.
such the only way I knew that song was because of Dancing with the Stars. So but it's a great running song and yes, I was doing the drum solos and it got me through.
I do that too when I run sometimes because also like um I was told that if you like focus on your core, I don't know if this makes sense, but like make a ball motion, it makes it easier to run, tracks you. So sometimes I air drum along with it. It's funny, but
The other thing, speaking of distractions while running, when you play "We Didn't Start the Fire," and you know how they just start, like, saying random words? That is literally what your brain is doing while you're running. You're like, "What?" And it just makes so much sense. So add Brain Stew and "We Didn't Start the Fire" to your running playlist, and you're
so
welcome.
shout out to my high school history teacher. He had us do a project where we had to like a group project where we had to learn about everything in that song. So I know what
Oh,
everything from
really?
that song means now.
Oh my gosh, but that's just where my brain goes. I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this." Yeah. But yeah, that kinda concludes my trending topics of the week. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think we can go on.
And that wraps up our WHAT news of the week. The news you didn't need to know, but now you know. The only news you need to know now. We have a two-part episode. We're doing splitsies. The first part is we're in soup season. And when you guys are listening to this on Sunday, maybe not because the Super Bowl is on. I want to know if anybody does the Super Bowl and brings their favorite soup. But it is peak soup season, so Hallie had the wonderful idea of discussing soup. So did you want to take it away?
Yes, so I have been eating mostly soups. I've also been in a rut where I've been watching so many food videos online. First, I'm gonna go with a classic. One of my favorite soup recipes to make, great for the crock pot, is white chicken chili. There's a lot of
Uh-huh.
different recipes. It's either usually called white chicken chili or green chicken chili or chili verde, but it is so good. So it's made with white beans, usually bell peppers and jalapenos or the diced roasted chilies. I started off making it with the taste of home recipe, but there's a million. And it's so good.
That one's nice because if you eat like regular chili a lot and you're like, I want chili, but I want something different, that one's good. And then shout out to Budget Bites, not sponsored. They have a great recipe where it's literally a can of salsa verde, chicken, I think onion, jalapeno, and chicken broth, and some seasoning. And you throw it in a crock pot. And nothing beats a crock pot meal when you can just chuck it in there and forget about it.
And
That's a good one.
one of my new favorites. So I've been seeing online videos about making the instant hot pot, but it's basically similar to like, have you seen those mason jar noodles, instant noodles?
Well, yeah, you were telling us about that, I think 2 weeks ago on the pod.
So I have been eating that almost every day for lunch for the
Oh,
past 2
really?
3. Yeah, so I finally went out and got everything for it, and it's actually really good because lately I've been wanting, like, something with more vegetables, more fiber and protein, but, like, warm, and I'm tired of
Yeah.
salad. So I bought, like, a big pack of rice noodles that are, like, broken up into, like, little, like, individual portion sizes for $2. So it's, like,
Wow.
actually pretty cheap. You can add any vegetables you want, any protein you want. And just microwave it with, either bouillon or, I've been using better than bouillon, and it's
That
very
sounds good and nice and quick.
and, recently, I've been chopping up fresh herbs because I can find them for pretty cheap here, and they really just make things taste so much better and just fancier too.
True. Did you know Aldi now sells fresh herbs?
Yeah, they're great.
Because usually you'd have to go to Jewel for that, and then you're
Mhm,
like, "That's one more thing I have to grab." But I saw it at Aldi, and I'm like, "Yes." And then it makes you use them quickly because you're like, "Oh, I gotta use these fresh herbs. I have some in my fridge that I need to use." But that's true. It makes your dish it elevates your dish.
and another class. Obviously, chili is very good, but chicken noodle soup,
Mhm.
another one of my favorites. Usually in the Instapot, I just get frozen chicken breasts, cook them for frozen with carrots, celery, and onion, and then add the
That's
noodles
it's a
after.
simple one, but it's so good. I'm just thinking about all the sides I eat with soup.
And there's so many.
Yeah. Well, usually with chili, we would make, like, biscuits, so that's always good. Chicken noodle soup, my brain goes to a grilled cheese sandwich made with Velveeta, but those are all good soups, and what you can also do, like, if you wanna be fancier, if you go get, like, the rotisserie chicken at wherever, Costco, whatnot, and you peel the chicken off of it, Then you can use that for your chicken noodle soup, and it makes it even tastier. And what my mom has done a lot when she's making homemade soups that have, like, noodles or rice in 'em, that won't have like, you're gonna eat it over multiple days, sometimes the rice and noodles can get kind of gross after sitting in the soup for so long. So what she'll do is she'll make it separate, and then you add as many noodles or rice as you want when you're reheating it, which is nice. And then when you get to, like, the last portion of the soup and you have 2 times the amount of noodles you need, it's way more fun to eat that. I love a good potato soup.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Potato soup. I love it, but I'm too lazy to make potato soup.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I don't think I've ever made it. My mom has just made it, I've eaten it. Um,
Same with broccoli cheddar soup. It is so good. I never can make it.
I don't think I've made it again. My mom just makes it and I eat it. Um, so mom, if you're listening when are you making more soup?
Big
Asking
shout out.
for a friend. Yes. But she has a broccoli cheddar potato soup, and it's like the best of both worlds. It's so good. And we actually just had that a while ago. I'm trying to think of some of the like the other soups that you may not have tried or whatever, but well, we'll have to post some of the soups. My mom made this like Tuscan. Again, my mom just shares soup with me, okay? It makes like way too many servings to eat at once. So, a Tuscan chickpea Italian soup or whatever, and at first I'm like, I don't really like chickpeas, but I'll try it, especially when you make it and I just have to eat it. And it was really good. It had kinda crumbled up Italian sausage in it, spinach, sun-dried tomatoes, the chickpeas, and like a it's supposed to be like a creamy broth, but it wasn't super creamy, and it turned out really good. And that's something so different from what we would ever eat. I wanna try making pasta fagioli because I've never made it, but I have a recipe for it, and that looks good. If you're looking for something super easy, a chicken enchilada soup, it's all canned goods. Maybe one day when I make it, I'll record. Black beans, I think there's another type of beans, corn, canned chicken, which I know sounds weird, but if you just, like, shred it up, you can't even tell, enchilada sauce, and you just dump it in a crock pot and heat it up, that's it. That one's very tasty. And I'm trying to think of any other soups because I feel like I always go back to all the other like, the normal soups.
So if you like Olive Garden soups, there's lots of copycat recipes online. I've made most of them, and they're also really good.
Mhm. Now I want soup.
And some less common ones. I don't know if this counts as soup, but I'm saying beef burgundy or coq au vin are also both really good. Which
That's right, beef barley soup.
beef barley,
Delicious.
so good.
And you're like, "What is barley?" I don't know, it's just something kinda like a rice, and it's just that one's
And
delicious. I forgot about that one. Um, and I have a good recipe for that. I'm
and
trying to
I do
think of
those are really good for like using up leftover beer or wine. Especially if like
oh,
someone leaves something at your house that you don't normally drink. It's like perfect for it.
yeah. I mean, I always see chicken and rice soup, but then I'm like, "That's just basically chicken noodle soup." I'm not a big tomato soup gal.
No, I'm not either.
But I've made an interesting one. I didn't really eat it because I didn't care for it, but you just take a sheet pan and you roast red peppers, garlic, onion, and tomatoes on there, and then you just blend it up and that's your soup. I'm trying to think.
And
There's
then
so many good soup recipes out there, but we just thought we'd share some of our favorites for soup season, and if you like one that we haven't mentioned, comment below because we need some more soups.
and I also have a couple unsolicited soup tips for making
Ooh,
good soup.
okay.
Some unsolicited soup advice. So my favorites are first is it never tastes right unless you add a little bit of acid. So either like lemon juice or apple cider vinegar is really good, or just regular vinegar. But it really makes your soup taste so much better.
It's a good tip.
It doesn't have to be a lot, but just a splash at the end. But
Very nice.
besides that, just getting meal prep containers makes it so much easier to eat your leftovers because growing up we would just put like we make one giant container of soup, and it was always just so intimidating to, like, scoop cold soup and warm it up, so I'd never
That's so
eat, like
true.
so, honestly, I think that just having, like, meal prep containers makes it so much easier to actually eat your soup.
Yeah. If you're not going anywhere and you're just gonna be eating it the next day and then a bunch of people are still gonna eat it the next day, it's fine to have that big bowl, but it definitely is a lot easier to just grab. Have you seen, like, the big mugs that have, like, a lid that you can use for soup? There's that. My tip is if you have a crock pot of stuff and you need to cool it down and you have no space in your fridge, use your outdoor fridge. So, like, go into your garage and put it in your garage or, um at my old house, like, we had stairs going up into the garage, so we'd use the stair as our, little second, um, fridge to cool it down. Just don't forget it out there because that's happened a few times. But I think with soup, you can set it and forget it in the crock pot, and that gives you time to make some bread, buy some bread, make a sandwich. You're probably over the salad at this point because you have the wrong size bowls, but it's fine. Um, I'm just kidding. But it gives you time to think about what the side of the soup is, and you gotta carb load. The soup's healthy. You need some carbs on the side. But yeah, now I just want soup. So, Mom, can you make me some soup?
If you're listening, please send some over.
She's gonna listen to this like a month from now and she'll be like, "It's not soup season anymore." I'm
It's too
kidding. It's too late. Did you have anything else you want to talk about soup wise? All right, cool. But again, we'll try and share some of those recipes, or at least the links to where you can find them. And then the other part of the episode we wanted to talk about is because, Holly, I don't know about you, but I've had to adult a lot lately, and part of adulting is cleaning and folding and laundrying, which is not even a word, but we're gonna make it a word for today. And preparing what you're gonna eat for the whole week, all the things. I thought it'd be a great idea to kind of break down how we get through the things that we have to do but don't wanna do, and how do we do them. So the first thing first that I wanted to talk about specifically is I have this idea that I can do all the things all at once, get them done in one shot, that I can do them all at once. Come to find out I can't do all the things at once. And so instead of worrying about, "My god, I didn't do all 50 things that I needed to do today," they just sit in my head and it goes on repeat of, "Don't forget you have to fold your laundry, don't," and it's just ridiculous up here. So to kind of calm the craziness up there, and when I've had enough, I kind of forget to do this, and then I reach, like, a breaking point, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I just need to give me a second." So what I do, where did it go? It's not pretty, but I just grabbed a piece of paper. This was what was in my head all at once, and it's like 20 different things. But let me tell you, when you write it down, it frees up your mind. That's great. And it's anything from, "Oh, I need to mail somebody a birthday card. I need to vacuum," like a to-do list of things that will happen probably in like 3 months, that I just have a gift card to use up, put away some dishes, clean the countertop, empty the dishwasher, clean the bathrooms. All and started a list of Menards things I need to get. So it's chaos on the page, but it makes everything more clear. And I've decided to pick a few things each day from the list instead of trying to do the whole list in one day. And it's been helpful. So I highly recommend, if your brain is all over the place, to just take a piece of paper or your notes app, however you want to do it, and just take 5 minutes and write down every single thing you're thinking of. And it can be something that you need to complete within 5 minutes or in 5 months, whatever's been sticking in your brain. And then pick 1 to 2 things each day to do, and that's a lot easier to do. and come to the realization you can't do it all, so don't be mad at yourself when you don't do it all at once.
It's especially nice with homework because, at least with my classes, they have everything posted the first couple days of class, so I just need to see all the work and homework I have to do. So just, like, making daily schedules or just even,
Mhm.
like, a couple things I need to do every day is so much easier to just relax knowing you'll get everything done and you don't need to keep thinking about it.
Yeah, because the worst is when you're, like, about to fall asleep and you're like, "Oh, I forgot to fold my laundry," or just, like, random stuff, and I feel like we plan other things in
Mhm.
our life, we just don't plan out all the tasks we have to do because we think we can do them all, and I'm not that on top of it where I'm like, "Oh, on Mondays, I Swiffer, and on Tuesdays, I vacuum." I'm not there yet, I don't think I'll ever get there, but just having the little list to look at is helpful, and then sometimes you look back and you're like, "I was really worried about trying to repaint the guest bedroom, and then it's not even we don't even have any furniture yet, like, stupid stuff like that. So I highly recommend doing that. And then sometimes you can put different tasks, like, together all at once. So if you needed to do laundry and your laundry's in the basement and you also had to vacuum and, I don't know, organize down there, you could throw in a load of laundry, vacuum, and then organize, and then by the time you're done doing that, you can move the stuff to the dryer, that sort of thing. Um I've never met a person who, like, absolutely loves to clean,
My mom.
who's like, "Really? My gosh." I'm not like, "Yes, I get to clean." It is very satisfying once the room you're in is clean, but I'm not the type of person who wakes up on a Saturday morning, and I'm like, "Yes, time to clean the bathroom." So, specifically, like, dishes. I don't know how it happens. I use so many freaking bowls, it's ridiculous, like snack bowls and stuff. But if I wake up in the morning, I'm not the type of person to wake up and do all these things in the morning. So it's usually like after dinner when I'm tired. And I'm like, oh, I have to empty the dishwasher, reload it. Some things you can't put in the dishwasher, so you have to hand wash. And then they sit on the counter once they're like clean. Oh, I'm like, oh my gosh. Um, so I don't know if you've done this before, but if you play like pump up music while you're trying to do like, clean the dishes or put away the dishes, you move so much faster. You need, like, songs you can sing along to, but they have a beat of, like, 180 beats per minute, and you just start going, and then in about 5 minutes, boom, your kitchen is clean.
I like to use laying in bed as a motivation or sitting on the couch, where after I come home from work, I won't lay in bed or sit on the couch until after I do what I'm supposed to do.
You just sit on your kitchen floor. You're like, "Dang it, I just wanna sit in bed right now, but
I
I
have to
can't."
get this done.
Oh gosh. And it makes such a difference, specifically, like, in the kitchen to have it wiped down and clean every night instead of just having stuff all over. Right now, we kinda have some stuff all over, but it will only take a few minutes, and that's what I have to keep reminding myself, that it actually doesn't take as long as you think it does. Your brain likes to trick you into thinking that everything's gonna take about 50 times longer than what it'll actually take you, and then you can p just leave some things for a different day. So if you want your countertops clear and that involves you having a sink full of dishes, but you're fine with that, good. Then the next day, do your dishes? I don't know, I'm trying to think of some of the other things, like, I don't know, cleaning the bathroom's not my favorite. And I don't like
Yeah.
God. What
I
were you
have
gonna
so
say?
many crazy hacks for cleaning,
Alright,
especially
let's
because,
hear
like,
'em.
I used to be a night supervisor for a long time, which is almost all cleaning and keeping track of cleaning tasks, by the way. Any restaurant you go to for bathroom cleaning, I'm not saying any of them are good advice, I'm saying they work. Um, just spray everything down with bleach, like everything, like walls, anything that won't get destroyed by bleach. So, like, don't spray it on like paint or wood, but just like any surface you can, just spray bleach. Don't clean it up. Eventually mop the floors. That's it. Because if you use way too much, it will eventually just drip down onto the floor. It will decompose and break down anything. Any bacteria, any stains, they'll eventually drip down.
And that is how you clean the Starbucks bathroom.
And I'm not saying it works, or I'm not saying it's a good idea, but it does work and it does.
Yeah. That's one.
Maybe not a great idea for at home, but
Yeah, but you could spray everything down. I was gonna say, like, Clorox wipes are man's
Mhm.
best friend, like,
Clorox
you don't
wipes, I
have
love
time
them.
to get out your scrubbing
Mhm.
bubbles and your sponge, quick
A less
wipe
silly
down.
version or, like, idea is buy something that you genuinely love the smell of because then you'll clean a lot more because you wanna smell it. Mrs. Meyer's comes in great for this.
Mm. That is good scented soap. I was gonna say it's helpful to if you have the space, keep the cleaning supplies you're gonna use for your bathrooms, like, in your bathroom, and if it makes even more sense, keep separate like, if you're gonna use scrubbing bubbles in the bathroom, have them separate for, like, each bathroom, so you don't have to run around and walk back and forth and whatnot. I don't like touching stuff while I'm cleaning, so I got gloves
Yeah.
and, they're I think technically, like, the dishwashing gloves, so, kinda long, but I got 2 different colors. Pink are for cleaning bathrooms, blue are for dishes. And then I highly recommend I got a little handheld steam cleaner. It is so satisfying to get it's gross, but so satisfying to get the gunk out of places, like, I don't like, we have glass shower doors, and there's this little stopper in the middle so that the doors can slide and not, like, bump into each other? I got so much gunk out there, I was like, "That's disgusting," but at least I know it's getting clean, and it's nice because it just uses water but kind of sanitizes everything, so if you get something fun like that, you can do that.
Another thing I've been doing is I got extra of those little scrub brushes that dispense dish soap for the bathroom.
It works so well.
Yeah, so, like, it works so well and it's so easy too. And it's, like, a lot easier to just do, like, a little bit at a time than, like, let everything build
Oh,
up,
yeah.
so I've just been using Clorox wipes.
Yeah, definitely, and some things don't need to be cleaned, like, that consistently? But yeah, Clorox wipes are your friends, and I've used a scrub brush. You can use old toothbrushes to get in the small places, and that works pretty well. I don't know, just pick, like, one room or part of a room and deal with that. We haven't even talked about laundry. Remember how much we talked about laundry in the beginning? I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
my weekly stat is I put away 3 loads of laundry.
I have more I don't know if this is even good advice, but honestly, I've given up hanging up clothes, but also I have, shelves in my closet too, so I just got more dressers, and I just
There you
got more
go.
laundry baskets, so now everything just goes into a laundry basket of color or type or into a dresser drawer, and that's done.
There you go. That's all you need to do. No questions asked. Um, yeah, I think you just have to figure out kinda what works best for you and don't expect to do a bunch of things in one day. And if you have a day where you do get everything done, like, good for you. But I can tell you I've never had one of those days. Excuse me 1 second. Because I feel like most of the time, I'll be like, "Alright, I have nothing to do this Saturday. I'm gonna do this whole laundry list." And I get to, like, step 4, I'm like, "Alright, time for a nap." And then the rest of the night, I'm like, "I'm so lazy. I did nothing today." So don't beat yourself up while you're cleaning. Hopefully, you'll remember to put on some, good music, maybe this podcast while you're cleaning. It could be your cleaning podcast, the jibber jabber in your ear. But yeah, so we just wanted to share some of our cleaning hacks and tips because we've been doing a lot of cleaning and we just thought we'd be nice and share because nobody wants to clean alone, I feel. And everybody's got to do it. So we can relate to everybody. Um, all right. Well, if you don't have anything else, did you have anything else? Okay. That moves on to my favorite part of the podcast, our expertly unqualified rant and advice of the week. I have an excellent rant. Do you have one prepared?
Go ahead. You ready?
Okay, we did something similar, but this one's a little different. Okay. I made brats this past week for dinner. Delicious. Tell me why and make this make sense. The package of brats has 5 brats in it. The package of buns comes with 6 buns. Why don't they make the package of whatever you're putting in the bun match the number of buns in the package.
Never,
Or
never,
never, never.
never.
And additional rant on top of that one is, why do the buns never fit what you're putting them in there? Like, we had brats and I don't even know, I think they're brat buns, like bigger than a hot dog bun or whatever. They're like too wide and too long. So the last bite or two on the end is literally just bun. So why can't it's 2026, people? Why can't we make a bun that fits the brat better?
Why not? Why?
Why not?
It's so
I can see
simple.
like a burger bun being bigger because you have all the toppings and stuff. But a brat bun doesn't need to be ginormous. And you're gonna like this. So if you bought a package of brats that has 5 brats and a package of buns that have 6 buns, the least common denominator between the two is 30. So you'd have to buy 6 packages of brats and 5 packages of buns to have the same amount of buns and brats. I don't know about you, but that's way too many brats to eat at once and too many buns. So what's up with that?
So, for those who hadn't been paying attention in math class, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. The smallest number that 5 and 6 go into is 30. The least
Which is
common
ridiculous.
denominator. You said you wouldn't need your math. I've never used this math in my life after graduating from high school. Boom, you just used it for brats and brat buns.
Actually, when I think about it now, it's not like that with hamburgers because the buns come in 8 packs, right? Usually.
Yeah.
And when you buy usually, like, the pre-made
Isn't it
patties,
like
they
4 burgers? Or 6?
well, the ones at Mariano or some of, like, the stores here, they're, like, 8,
Mm,
where it's, like,
yeah.
4 and 4 stacked.
Hot dogs come in 8, but
And I
then
can
hot dog buns come in 8 too, right? I think so.
or does hot dogs come in 10 or 12? Let me look.
I don't know, but it's just like, come on. I mean, it's fine when you have 1 extra bun because this is what you gotta do with the extra bun, is you make garlic bread with it. You toast it
Smart.
up, put some butter and some garlic salt on it, and it's delicious, and I may be making that right now. Or you can make a really good sub sandwich at home with it. But I'm like, "Ugh, I just want the same amount of buns as brats. So that's too much to ask."
So I'm looking it up now, and the Oscar Mayer hot dogs come in a 10-pack.
But the 8 buns.
So then you have 2 extra hot dogs for some reason. I see, just make
I'd
it
rather
yeah,
have extra hot dogs than buns.
but you know what? It's just somebody made these decisions, and it wasn't us. So why make things
Goofy, yeah. What was your rant of the week?
I had another calm week. By calm, mostly
Whoa.
just anxiety-induced homework, but mostly it's just why make group projects when your class doesn't have any aspect of in person?
Yeah, I think they should outlaw group projects when you're doing it online. Especially different time zones. I don't like group projects. And I think part of it is like when it's for a grade and it's a group project, I don't like that. Cuz in
That's
real life, like,
yeah.
you're going to work with other people on your team and you may be working on a project together, but it's not like you're being graded. Like, I feel like your grade is so important during college or really any school, but I don't like that.
So I've had group projects online that the professor has emailed us a list of email addresses that we're working with, and that was how. So it's just stuff like that
God,
where it's just like it's just silly. But that's my root is group projects. They're
that
so
is
much
pretty
worse
silly.
than just working. They're so much harder. They're so much more anxiety inducing too. Because the other thing too is I don't want to be the lucky one.
What if everybody in group sucks? That's what always happened to me. That, like, I was stuck doing all of it because I was
Hmm.
like, we need to turn this in on time. We need to. I don't miss that. Let me tell you. Let me tell. Yeah, that's just goofy.
So then,
Tell the
do you
professor
have
to do his own group project.
any unsolicited advice or other rants?
I do. I have a PSA. PSA, go make some soup this week and report back. We want to hear it. I need to find a soup recipe. I don't know if you've seen these at Aldi, but they're actually delicious.
My favorite right now, my favorite.
which I was a little skeptical. So if you're just listening, Aldi, if you don't have an Aldi, I'm very sad for you. Like, I hope you have an Aldi near you. But they try and do like their own spin-offs they did their own spin-off of Alani. What is the soda?
Oh, yeah.
Pappy. They do their own. So this one I think is probably a knockoff of like Prime drinks or even Body Armor. They're really good. So it's coconut hydration with electrolytes, cherry flavored. Absolutely delicious. It's not as sometimes when you mix, like, the electrolyte packets, they're almost, like, too strong, you know? This one's nice and smooth throughout. It's not a bunch of calories, it's only 15 calories. It doesn't have any crazy dyes or anything, which I really like because I think I'm pretty sensitive to some dyes and stuff. And I'm not the biggest fan of coconut water, but you can't even tell it's coconut water. The best is if you get the cherry, I put some fresh lime juice squeezed on top, like a cherry limeade. It's so good. They have 2 other flavors too. They have red, white, and blue, and the blue raspberry. So I wanna try the other ones. They're also not as expensive as the name brand ones, but they taste just as good.
I really love those, the cherry ones. I think taste pretty similar to the Powerade Glacier Cherry,
That's so true.
and it's one of my favorite
That is
flavors
very
too.
true.
I can also confirm the blue and the red, white, and blue flavor are also really good too.
Oh, I need to pick those up. And I like because sometimes the dyes are kinda crazy. Sometimes I'm not the biggest fan of cherry flavored things because they can be a little wild. But this one tastes really good. But now that you mention it tastes like Powerade, it really does. Yeah. So that was my advice of the week is to go make some soup and report back to what soup you're making and to go try these coconut hydration plus electrolytes mixed sticks cherry.
And they seriously are so much cheaper than the brand name ones too, and they taste honestly really good, and I don't like coconut water that much, but I think those ones taste delicious.
Yeah, they're very good. Very good. All right. Well, that concludes our episode of Expertly Unqualified. So thank you so much for joining us. If you listened this long, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this with a friend, comment below. We can be found on YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram at Expertly Unqualified. And thanks for listening.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
All right, that's a wrap on our episode of Expertly Unqualified. If you stuck around this long,
You're either extremely loyal, extremely bored, or extremely caffeinated. Either way, we love that for you.
make sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts and leave a review if you laughed, related, or were personally attacked by something we said. Find new episodes and more on our website, thepodmates.com.
And don't forget, follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Expertly Unqualified. Send us your stories, questions, or weird hot takes. You might just hear them on a future episode.
We are, as always,
Expertly Unqualified. Conversation's so fun, you'll forget we have no idea what we're doing. Do you want to say the Podmates?
was it Podmates Production?